Awesome. Okay, very good. I'm going to try to record here if I can. If not, then I will get that from you, please and thank you. All right. I'm Al from
Hi,
Hartford,
Al.
Connecticut. It's great to meet you guys.
Hi,
Uh,
Al.
Brandon,
Yes.
right? Engman, right?
Inman. It's like Englishman,
Engman.
but take out the glish.
Thank
Inman.
you.
There you
And
Love
go.
then
it.
Brian, can you pronounce your last name for me?
Stivale.
Stivaley. Gotcha. I like that. All right. Shall we?
Let's
Yes,
do it.
let's.
All right. Well, thank you guys for doing this.
Thank
Here
you
we
for
go.
having us.
Three, two, one. Welcome back to Life-Changing Radio. I'm Al Kim. Joining us on Zoom today are two stars and two voiceover actors for the brand new movie David the Movie, which opens nationwide in theaters Friday, December 19th on Sunrise Animation and Angel Studios. Brian, Stivaley, and Brandon Engman, it's great to see you guys.
It's great to
Thank you
be
for
here.
having us.
Thank you for having us.
So this is a very exciting movie coming into theaters at a great time of the year. Um, can you each tell us maybe a little bit about your acting careers and maybe what we might know you about from previous roles?
Well, I guess I'll start. This was my actually first voiceover audition ever was for this whole process. So it's been 8 years in the making for me.
He has a little bit of favor on his life. This guy.
Yeah, so it's been a great journey with this process. But I've also been on, TV, film, been on episodes of Law and Order. I'm going to be in an episode of High Potential. I
Okay,
just filmed a movie called Mixed Skylark Mini Golf Prodigy, where I play a mini golf prodigy
nice.
with David Keckner as my mini golf coach. So
Okay,
be on the lookout for that.
all right, excellent. Brian, how about you?
Oh, I've been privileged to be in the entertainment business since I was 16 years old. Started my career in New York City off Broadway then, and got into musicals. Had a career break for about a dozen years where I started producing, but in ministry. And
Oh,
so my wife and I both launched into ministry. We both pastored the first United States plant of King of Kings Community, Jerusalem, in Los Angeles.
oh wow.
And during the which of the process of building that, I felt called back into the industry. Not away from ministry, but to bring it into the industry and to do what I do in the industry. And so I've been able to do quite a bit in the voiceover community. I've done literally too many video games to track at this point. If you play a video game and don't do it in the bathroom or you're taking me with you, please don't do that.
Yeah,
And if you do, I'm sorry in advance. But I also have had the privilege of doing a lot of cartoons and
nice.
some other great series that I'm a narrator on, a ton of stuff like that. But specifically speaking to Angel Studios and working with Sunrise, I had the privilege of working on a Butch Hartman cartoon called The Garden, which is
Okay,
a great one. It's also for the little ones, and it's all Bible based. It takes place in the garden, and it
nice.
stars Lenny the Lion and Lucy the Lamb. It's another
Oh,
Angel Guild and another Angel platform show. And Butch is such a tremendous animator with Fairly Odd Parents and Danny Phantom, all these great shows that he created. That creating this for the kingdom was great. I voiced the boss, which is God, amongst other characters on that. And so I'm privileged to be able to do that. I have a couple other things in the canon that I can't talk about. But this was definitively for me, and I think Brandon could say the same thing, the most important thing that I've ever done in my entire life
wow.
creatively. This is a singularly important movie.
Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about the audition process because we don't really see your handsome faces right now. We only hear your dulcet tones. Brian, how was the audition process for the prophet Samuel, which is the role you're playing?
It was wonderful, and I'll tell you, the writing is so good that if it's done right, it's on the
Hmm.
page, and then it can reflect, and it informs the actor. You don't really have to get a lot of stage direction if it's well written. Particularly for this, this isn't unknown material. I funny one of our interviews says you gave away the ending. I'm like, well, they could read the
Yeah,
Bible.
we
It's
kind of
in
know the
First and
story.
Second Samuel.
Yeah.
It's all there and more. But getting to the audition, it was actually it was unique in that I've never wanted a job as much as this one.
Wow.
Not for the sake of the job, but for the project. When I read their
Yeah.
synopsis, I thought, this is my heart. This is a love letter to the Holy Land, to the land and the people. This is reminding people that Jesus wasn't a Christian, John was not a Baptist, Mary wasn't a Catholic, they were all Jews. And that we serve this story that took place in the Holy Land, and it took place there, and that without David, we wouldn't have the line of Messiah. The root of Jesse leads to Yeshua, to Jesus. And so that became a very deep, heavy importance in knowing I want to be a part of this project. I'd sooner go clean toilets for them to make this happen, because I was so my baby jumped at the prospect of what they wanted to accomplish with this. So doing it, there was actually the pressure of not wanting it too much to come through in the audition, and getting my be a pro out of that, and getting past that, and then God taking over and doing the rest. And then connecting us the right way. The people involved in this project, Ned Lott, our casting director and voice director, just is a tremendous, incredible believer. It has a heart after God, like David himself. And I think that gave him the skill set to call out exactly who was needed for this, and particularly starting with Brandon. Brandon gave this heart. If this weren't for him and his involvement from over 7 years ago, this would have never happened, I believe.
So, Brandon, you play young David, which is, I guess, contrasted with adult David, voiced by Phil Wickham.
Yes.
But tell us about your audition process and how that all went.
If I can remember. In 2017. What I do remember is, so I just graduated NYU, and never really had a voiceover audition, never a professional voiceover job, and this was my first audition I got, and it was for a movie David, and I read the breakdown, and they described it as Prince of Egypt meets Tangled, but the story of David.
Sure.
And for me, David has always been a hero, someone I've looked up to, and I was just first excited that this movie was going to be made.
Right.
Because until before, we hadn't had a great story of David on the big screen. Now we have several, which is very cool.
Yeah, indeed.
But back in the day, there wasn't really.
Sure.
Back in the day, 2017.
Back in 2017.
You're old pro now.
Yeah. But then I was just excited for an audition. I really had no hopes, really. I just was excited to audition, and so I did.
Great.
Month and a half later, get a call back, and I'm like, whoa, okay. And just so thankful for this journey. There's been ups and downs as anything in life, but so thankful to be here sitting next to this guy.
Awesome.
And be part of this film.
Brian, you touched on this a little bit earlier, but what impresses you most about how this film has come about, and now that it gets to be released to the entire world?
Well, Hollywood is going to stand by, mark my words, saying, what happened? Where did this come? What is this? Where? They're going to be dumbfounded about how this has even come into manifestation. But in the truth of it, the thing that really touches me the most is Phil Cunningham conceived the idea of this movie 30 years ago, 30 plus years ago, on the Zambezi River in Africa, as a young man, and like understanding the need for this story to be told, the need for the heart of David to be shared with the world, for young men and women all over the world to realize that God is a God of adventure. And that impressed me so much, because we all have dreams. I believe God implants the desires of our hearts in us, but some people go through life and they let their dreams die, or they bury their dreams prematurely because they say, well, it's not happening now, so therefore it's not going to happen. Well, if we took the example of David, David is anointed at, 13, 14 years old, has to wait how many years before he becomes king, but in the process of that has to be hunted unto death, at the hands of Saul, hides away in En-Gedi, writes half of the Psalms. So we really have this journey of an adventurer. You could have easily called David the adventurer king as well, because of the boldness in his heart. And I think that's a declaration that speaks to Phil and to Brett Dawes, our director, and Sunrise Animation's journey with this, along with Angel, that this demanded not burying the dream. This demanded not giving up prematurely, fighting through a lot of challenges. The world will fight you tooth and nail even if you intimate that you're part of the kingdom. And so having a kingdom-built production with such bold declarations, and it's not even really, it's not an evangelical film on the proselytizing side. We're not doing an altar call at the end of this one. This isn't about that this is more about teaching the root of Jesse and understanding faithfulness in God and being a man or a woman after God's heart, knowing that that is the key of all that we do. That's actually the key of all Judaism as well, is that the core prayer of Israel is Shema Israel, Adonai Elokeinu, Adonai Echad, Shema Israel, listen, hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one, meaning he's the one, follow him.
Right.
There's something so beautiful about that 30-year vision, 30 years plus, coming to fruition now in such a magnificent way that, while you're out of it and you don't have any cognizance of it, you're going to go, where did that come from? But there is an army of believers on the other side of that, beneath the iceberg, beneath the peak of the iceberg, that really did make this happen. And just tremendous craftsmen, artisans, creators, creatives, from even up to the level of marketing, from animator to marketing, all the way through. Everyone's heart has been attached to this work. And I think that's what's blown my mind so much is I've never been a part of a production that's been so unified in its purpose.
That's awesome. Brendan, how about you? What impresses you about this?
Sorry, Brian
was the
talked
question?
so long. What was the question?
Tell us what impresses you about this production finally coming together.
Oh, it's what made this production so special is the heart behind it. Everyone gave it their all, and they literally fought Goliath to make this happen.
That's great.
There's so many. I mean, I can't speak for Phil Cunningham and Brent Dawes, but from their other interviews, they talk about all the hardships that and barriers that came across through this process, and they continued to break them down, even when they almost lost hope. And it just shows, that people need this movie. People want this movie. And it's what the world needs right now. So just so thankful that all the hard work paid off, and we're finally here. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Brian Stivaley, who plays Prophet Samuel, and Brendan Engman, who plays young David. Thank you so much for joining us today on Life-Changing Radio. Blessings as you guys launch this movie. I hope it goes great.
Thank you so
God
much.
bless you. Appreciate that.